When Disneyland opened its gates on July 17, 1955, it was a dream come true. Walt Disney wanted a place where families could have fun together, a place full of magic and happiness. And well, it worked. Millions flocked to Anaheim, Sleeping Beauty Castle, Mark Twain Riverboat. Disneyland became a symbol of American joy, the happiest place on earth. But with so many people, so much history, and so much emotion packed into one place, things get a little weird. Is it possible the park's magic comes from another source? Over the decades, stories began to circulate. Whispers, rumors, not about Mickey Mouse, not about Donald Duck, ghost stories, open almost every day, year after year, a constant cycle of energy, laughter, screams of joy, something else. The perfect recipe for a haunting. The sheer volume of people is staggering, hundreds of millions of guests. You get a lot of stories. Some are more than rumors. Let's start our spooky tour at the park's most iconic attraction, the Haunted Mansion. Now you might think, of course it's haunted, it's in the name. But the stories go beyond the ride's special effects. Cast members have long talked about a real ghost, a little boy who can be seen crying near the ride's exit. Some believe his mother scattered his ashes inside the mansion, tying his spirit to the location forever. Next, we head over to Fantasyland, to the It's a Small World attraction. The cheerful music and happy animatronic children hide a darker side. Cast members who work this ride late at night report some seriously creepy stuff. They say the dolls move on their own after the power has been shut down. They hear the music start up by itself in the dead of night. They've even reported seeing doll-like figures that aren't part of the ride at all, watching them from the shadows. Don't forget Space Mountain in Tomorrowland. This high-speed roller coaster has a ghost with a name, Mr. One Way. The story goes that a male guest died on the ride sometime in the 1970s. Now his spirit is a permanent fixture. Guests sitting alone in their rocket have reported feeling a cold presence sit down next to them during the ride. When the lights flash for the on-ride photo, the seat next to them is empty. Finally, we visit Main Street, USA, and specifically, the apartment Walt Disney kept above the firehouse. Walt passed away in 1966, but many believe his spirit never left his favorite place. A lamp is always kept lit in the apartment window as a tribute to him. But employees tell stories that go beyond a simple tribute. They say the lamp sometimes turns off by itself, only to turn back on moments later. They hear footsteps and the faint smell of his favorite brand of cigarettes. They feel a presence watching over the park, a comforting but undeniably ghostly guardian making sure his dream is still running smoothly. Many of Disneyland's ghost stories aren't just made up. They are rooted in real, documented, and often tragic events. These accidents add a layer of chilling credibility to the paranormal claims. One of the most well-known incidents happened in 1974 on the America Sings attraction. A young cast member named Deborah Stone was tragically crushed to death between a rotating stage wall and a stationary one. The attraction was eventually closed down and many of its audio animatronics were moved to Splash Mountain. Ever since, cast members say they hear a disembodied female voice whispering, "Be careful," near the stage where she died. The Matterhorn bobsleds also has a dark history. In 1964, a 15-year-old boy named Mark Maples was thrown from his bobsled and died. It's believed he unbuckled his seatbelt to try and stand up. A second, unrelated fatal accident occurred in 1984, when a 48-year-old woman named Dolly Young was thrown from her car and struck by an oncoming bobsled. Today, cast members who work the Matterhorn report strange occurrences near the spot where Dolly died, which they call Dolly's Dip. Even the monorail, a symbol of futuristic transport, has seen tragedy. In 1966, a 19-year-old named Thomas Guy Cleveland tried to sneak into the park by climbing the monorail track. He was struck and killed. For years after, guests and security guards reported seeing a ghostly figure running along the track at night, only to vanish into thin air as the monorail approached. So, what are people actually experiencing? The reports are, honestly, surprisingly consistent. One of the most common claims is hearing disembodied voices. On the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, after the park is closed, maintenance workers have reported hearing ghostly laughter and singing coming from the empty ride. On Main Street, the sound of footsteps is often heard echoing from the upstairs rooms of the shops long after everyone has gone home. These aren't just the settling sounds of an old building, they are distinct human sounds in places where no living person is present. It's enough to make the hair on your arms stand up. Then, there are the physical encounters. People report sudden, inexplicable cold spots in otherwise warm areas. Guests on the Haunted Mansion have felt a tap on their shoulder. Guests on the haunted mansion have felt a cold breath on their neck. Cast members working at the gift shop near the exit have had merchandise fly off the shelves for no reason. These aren't just feelings, they are tangible physical interactions that defy any logical explanation. Visual apparitions are, of course, the most dramatic claims. The ghost of Walt Disney looking out his apartment window is a famous one. The lady in white is a ghostly figure seen near the park's entrance after closing. She's believed to be the spirit of a woman who died on grad night. Security guards have seen her on surveillance cameras, a shimmering white form that floats through locked gates. Then there is the little boy near the haunted mansion exit. He's crying, he looks lost, he vanishes completely. Finally, there's the phenomenon of ghost lights, orbs appearing in photographs. Tourists will snap a photo in a place like the haunted mansion's graveyard. Later they discover strange, glowing circles of light in the picture that weren't visible to the naked eye. While many of these can be explained away as dust or lens flare, some are harder to dismiss. They appear intelligently placed, hovering over a specific tombstone or next to a person. It's as if the spirits can't always manifest fully, but they can leave a small trace of their energy behind for us to find later, a little ghostly hello from the other side. With all these chilling stories of ghosts and tragedy, you might think people would be scared to visit Disneyland. But that's not the case at all. The park remains one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world. So, why do millions still flock to a place supposedly crawling with spirits? The answer is simple. Disneyland's primary experience is pure joy. The magic Walt and his Imagineers created is powerful and immersive, enough to overshadow darker tales that linger in the corners. For most guests, a day is filled with laughter, thrilling rides, and meeting beloved characters. They're focused on the fireworks, the taste of a churro, the smile on their child's face. Ghost stories are background noise. You have to seek them out. The park's overwhelming happiness acts as a buffer. For some visitors, ghost stories make the park more appealing. They add depth and mystery, turning a visit into a secret side quest. These guests hunt for Dolly's dip on the Matterhorn, or try to glimpse the lamp in Walt's apartment. The legends don't detract, they enhance the park's history. Ultimately, Disneyland's legacy is defined by happiness, not hauntings. The ghosts, real or imagined, are part of the park's tapestry. They coexist with fairy tales. The legend of the crying boy at the haunted mansion is as much park lore as Cinderella's story. Spirits, if present, are just other permanent residents. It's a testament to the park's power, so magical that even in death, some people refuse to leave.